So we're going to review the steps to solving linear equations. We've got several people that have been struggling with this. I just want to clarify the 5 steps that you need to follow to solve any linear equation. These are 5 steps that you need to get to know, you need to memorize, right? These are super important for our class. There are little tweaks to it when we have to solve things like exponential functions or equations with exponents in them because they won't be linear anymore. So please keep in mind that this is only for linear equations. So the 5 steps, please write these down, and they have to be followed in order to make this work. So step 1 is distribution. Distribution, you'll know that there's distribution required when you see a set of parentheses, right? So we distribute a number through the parentheses. Step 2 is to combine like terms. Combining like terms cannot be done across an equal sign. So the equal sign in our equations is going to divide our equation into a left side and a right side. If I have like terms on the left side, I can combine them. If I have like terms on the right-hand side, I can combine them, but I can't cross over that equal sign when I talk about combining like terms. Step 3 is to get all variables to one side. I'm going to cross across the equal sign here, right? I need all my variables either to the left-hand side of the equation or to the right, and I'm going to do that by either adding or subtracting one of my variables to the other side. A constant is a number without a variable. I need my constants all to be on one side, and they cannot be on the same side as the variable. I'm going to move constants across the equal sign by adding or subtracting. Last step in any linear equation is to divide by your coefficient. Coefficient is the number in front of your variable, of course. Occasionally, a coefficient can be divided from your variable. Really, it's a fraction, but it looks like it's being divided. So very rarely you will multiply by a coefficient, but that won't be very often. Most of the time you'll divide. And last, this isn't an official step, but it's very, very wise and very, very important to check your solution by substituting that number back into your original equation and make sure that it fits. You can save yourself a lot of time and effort and a lot of wrong answers by checking your solution. So we're going to try to be quick here, and we're going to go through a couple of examples. First of all, I have 9x equals x plus 16. Is there any distribution that needs to be done? No, because there's not any parentheses. So next I need to check for like terms. I look only on the left-hand side for like terms. Then I look only on the right-hand side for like terms. Since I don't have any, I move on. I need all my variables to one side for step 3, so I'm going to get rid of the variable on the right. It really doesn't matter which one you get rid of, but they all need to be on the same side. When I subtract an x from the right-hand side, remember I need to subtract an x on the left-hand side. What I do to one side, I do to the other. And I'm going to kind of draw my dividing line down the middle. Over here I'm left with 8x. I have an equal sign in the middle. I have no more x's left on the right-hand side, but I do have a positive 16. I need all my constants to one side. 16 is my only constant, so no need to worry about that. Last step is to divide by your coefficient. Remember to do that on both sides. X equals 2. I need to go back and double check my answer, right? If this is my answer, it needs to fit my original equation. 9 times 2 should equal 2 plus 16. 9 times 2 is 18. 2 plus 16 is 18. If both sides come out equal, I know I have the right answer and I can move on. So we're going to do one more example here. We're going to try this equation, and it looks a little nasty to begin with, But if you follow those 5 steps in order, it's not a hard equation. So remember, first step is to look for any distribution that needs to be done. Since I do have a set of parentheses, I'm going to distribute through my parentheses. So 2 times 3x gives me 6x. 2 times -4 is -8. I need to write down the rest of the equation. Now my distribution is done. Second step is to combine like terms. So I look on the left-hand side of the equation. Notice I have a 6x and adding 5 more x's. I combine those to have 11 x's on the left-hand side, and I have a -8. On the right-hand side of the equation, I don't have any like terms. 3x and 16, not like terms, so I don't need to do anything on this side. Oops, 16. And I'm done with combining like terms. I need all my variables to one side, so I'm going to choose to subtract these 3 x's. I have to subtract x's from other x's, right? What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And I'm going to end up with 8 x's minus 8 equals 16. Step 4 is to get all my constants to one side. I have a -8 and a 16. They need to be together. I want my variables and my constants to be on opposite sides. So I'm going to get rid of this subtract 8 by doing the opposite and adding 8. Now I have 8x equals 24. Last step is to divide by my coefficient, and I get x equals 3. Because we have another video to watch, I'm not going to take the time to plug this back into my equation to check, but please remember to do that when this is an assignment. Write down any questions that you have so you can bring them to class, and next you need to watch the identity equations video, then hurry and take your online quiz. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.